Alright, I'm on hole number 14 of the Fuji Open tournament. I'm in the opening round of the Reiki division. I'm not having a bad round, but I'm not necessarily having a good round. I picked up one and then I dropped one on hole number 9 from a lag issue. Not Playdemic's fault, mine. And I've just been playing it up. So I've been using a Guardian on this, and I'm not sure in this account if my Guardian has enough backspin, and we're hitting into a headwind, so it's kind of worrying me a little, because in order to engage my backspin, I'm going to have to pull back closer to the tee box, and I'm right here on this transition right now between the fringe and the fairway. And when you start getting into the fairway here, you start engaging that hill, so you're coming in and you're hitting the hill, and then here's the green, and so where the fringe is out here, it's not necessarily flat, but you know, it's going to move the ball in a forward direction. But you start getting down on this hill and you're in a headwind, you could very easily find yourself going straight up in the air and then rolling back down, and there's a chance you could end up in the sand down here, and I don't really want to do that. But I don't really want to. The other way to go here is what I'm doing in my lower level account. I'm actually hitting over here. This area is absolutely flat. I'm hitting here with my backbone. I'm using a marlin, and I'm bringing it up. It's going to take at least 3 topspin to get up into this area, probably 3.5 to get it to go all the way to the cup. And you do have a pretty decent shot there with low risk. The only risk is that you're having to hit over this sand, as opposed to starting off on this side of it. But I am going to continue to use my Guardian, because the way that this round is going, I'd rather just get on the green and get my birdie and move on to the next hole, and still try and pick up something on one of the other holes. So I'm going to, even though I'd like to go for it a little bit more, I think I'm going to just stick with my Guardian shot. And in order to get myself up there far enough, I have to use a katana in order to get my red line, because the deal is I want to be right at my minimum club. If I use a marlin, I'll be somewhere in mid club. Use a navigator somewhere in that same range. But if I use a katana, I'm right at minimum club. It's pushed my red line up far enough, so the number that I'm using for my wind adjustment should be a truer number. And we have a little bit of headwind here, so it's not the I've got a little bit of room. I'm going to go right at it, right behind it. Let's see what that looks like. So it's 2-4. On this hole, I'm doing a 20% wind adjustment, so that's going to be about 2.8. So I'm going to do just a little over a ring. Hitting it perfect. Pretty close. Pretty close. Needed to be over to the right just a little bit more, or I needed to make just a little bit bigger wind adjustment. So I'm hitting that at 2.4, and we had my wind was a little higher than 2.4. I think it was 2.8. So 2.4 would have been 1. 4 would have been 1/8 of a ring. So I probably over pulled. I think I put about 1.25 rings, and I could have used 1 1/8 rings. And where I'm off wise, that's probably me making a bad wind adjustment. See how my opponent does. That's what I'm talking about right there. That is exactly what I'm talking about. And off into the sand you go. Yeah, that is exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not happy that my opponent ended up like that, but I am happy that they demoed that shot for us. Sometimes I talk about, if you're in that area and you miss that shot, and it's like, it does make it nice when your opponent shows you exactly what that bad shot would really look like. Hole number 2 in this tournament, you have that same thing where you're hitting into that hill face, and if you make a bad adjustment, The deal is you make a bad adjustment and you're moving forward, the ball is going to bounce forward, and you'll probably be okay, you'll just be long. But if you made a bad adjustment the other way and you overpulled, boy, especially on this hole where we're hitting into a headwind, you make a bad adjustment and you're in big trouble. And I do believe out of every 100, there's going to be more people that end up with a par on this hole than are going to get hole in one. All right, that was hole number 14 of the opening round of the rookie division in the Fuji Open. Thanks for watching.